All right. The name is Delman, aka Four Eyes, the Ugly Professor, doing the review for the new Wu-Tang Black Samson, the Bastard Swordsman album. This album review is done on behalf of Old Heads Network. All right, this is the best Wu-Tang album since the W. And this is actually better than the W in my opinion. We know the first two Wu-Tang albums are great to good. 36 Chambers is a bona fide classic. Wu-Tang Forever is a borderline classic in my opinion. Not quite a classic to me, but it's a pretty good double album. The W is solid, it's okay. I have to admit, when I first got the W back in the day, I was disappointed. But it's a solid album. It's not a bad album. I can't give it no more than a solid, but not bad. But the three albums after the W were very disappointing. You got Iron Flag, you got 8 Diagrams, and you got A Better Tomorrow. Iron Flag, to me, is maybe their worst album, in my opinion. I think 8 Diagrams is a little better. And I think A Better Tomorrow is a little better than 8 Diagrams. This album is more in the vein of a Wu/compilation album. More in the vein of albums they put out, like the Chamber Music that came out in 2009, Legendary Weapons came out in 2011, and the Saga Continues that came out in 2017. Whereas a Wu-Tang group album, but it's a compilation album where they got, I wouldn't say a rack of features, but is more featured heavy than their traditional Wu-Tang albums. So on this joint, you got features from Kool G Rap. He's on a joint called Lion's Roar. You got Benny the Butcher, who's on a song called Warriors 2, Coolie High. You got RJ Payne, 38 Special, and Willie the Kid on a joint called Let's Do It Again. Then you got Crooked Eye on a joint called Charleston Blue, Legend of the Fighter. And I like everything on this song outside of the intro, which is called Sucker Free City, and the outro called Trouble Man. I like every song on this album besides the intro and the outro. The intro and the outro. So it's a pretty good listen. You can just hit play and let it ride for the most part. Only song I wasn't sure about from the jump was Let's Do It Again. At first, I dig it now, but at first I was kind of like unsure about it because it came off to me as like some mixtape shit. Because it's basically the same beat that Ghostface used on his Supreme Clientele album for the song Mighty Healthy. It's basically the same beat. I think Mathematics did the production on that joint back in the day, and he does all the production on this new album, if I'm not mistaken. And the production is strong for the most part, but that was the only song I was kind of like, that sounds like some mixtape shit. Why would he recycle that beat? I mean, it got some changes and it's not totally the same, but most of the elements are there from Mighty Healthy. So I was unsure about that song at first, but I like it now. I really dig it now. So I like everything on the album. So it's not really, I don't really need to go into details for every song on here. I would say that Ghost is only on one song, and the Jizz is only on one song. So you only get Ghost and Jizz once. So they don't have a lot of play on this joint. And I think Method Man and Capadonna have the most appearances on this album. Raekwon's like a strong second to them. He's on a few more. They on a few more joints than him, I believe. I'm just going off the top of my head. But Meth and Capadonna have the most appearances, have the most verses on this album. I think U-God is on like 2 songs. I think RZA is on like 2 joints. Master Killer is on a few. So you're not getting the full Wu experience, should I say. You're not getting like a whole song with all of them on there. It's nothing like that. They're kind of like sprinkled throughout the album with the features. But it's still a pretty strong album. I like the vinyl rollout they did I think it was like 2 weeks before it actually dropped on all the streaming services. They had like a vinyl rollout where they was putting out the vinyl in different record stores across the country, and they had different art cover for each different vinyl, which I thought was a good idea. I like that rollout. You got different art work for the different vinyls that came out, but it's the same album, of course, not a different album, but just different artwork for the vinyl. I thought that was a good idea. I like that, and kind of paying homage to how it used to be back in the day when we was getting vinyl heavy. And I gotta salute Wu-Tang. They on their last tour, supposed to be their last tour this year. They've lasted the test of time. They legendary. I got nothing but respect for the Wu. And I would give this album a strong B+, closer to an A-. I highly recommend that you get it, purchase it. And if I see that vinyl, I'm definitely going to get the vinyl for it, because it's worth getting the vinyl. That's if it ain't trying to hit you over the head. I heard it was like $200, but then one guy I saw on a podcast, he got his joint for $75. I think $75 is not bad for vinyl for this joint. If you into collecting vinyl, that's not a bad price, $75. But $200, nah. But anyway, that's it. I'm done. Subscribe, like, and all that good shit. And I'm out.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.